Hey guys, Tall Farm Boy here. Hopefully going to show you guys a little tip here to save you some money when it comes to buying like a bad idler pulley bearing or something. This pulley comes off of a John Deere 737 commercial 7-iron deck, and it's been making some noise. It's got a little bit of play in this bearing. That bearing is dry. The problem is John Deere wants to charge you about 30 bucks for this pulley, for this idler pulley itself. They do not sell that bearing. They consider this one assembly, and you'll notice that it's actually just two halves pressed together, like you'd think that it would be, and it's been kind of riveted together with these 6 different rivets. I'm going to kind of walk you through the steps it takes to separate this and just replace that bearing in the middle. So first thing you're going to do, if you want to get you a bearing ordered, what you need to do is kind of figure out what your bearing is. This one is a 204 RR6, and probably a pretty common bearing. I'll do a little research here in a little bit and see how much it costs. But first thing you can do, you can do this one of a couple ways. You can use a grinder and grind these rivets down to where they're flush with the pulley, or you can take a drill and drill right through the middle of them. What I'm going to do, just because I've got it here, I'm going to try to make this a little easier job. Take a center punch and punch a hole in the middle of each one of these rivets, and I'm going to drill a 1/4 inch drill bit right through the center of them to hopefully disengage those rivets. So, alright. Just so you can see what I did here, I just took a center punch, made a little dent right in the middle of that rivet, and now I'm going to take my 1/4 inch drill bit and drill that out real quick. Okay, put my 1/4 inch drill bit on there and made it all the way through. Once you get to where you're about at the end of that, you'll notice that your the other end of your rivet pops right out, and you've got a pretty clean hole right there. I'll clean that up with the drill bit. I haven't went all the way through yet, but we're going to go and do that for all 6 of these rivets, and I'll be back here in just a little bit. Okay, as you can see, I got all 6 of the holes drilled out, and all the backside rivets are out of there now. What we're going to do next, we're going to use a screwdriver, maybe a tapered chisel of some sort. We're going to try to separate these 2 halves of this pulley without destroying them. You want to go kind of easy on it, because you don't want to bend each pulley half. Another thing that I do before I tear this apart, take you a marker and mark a spot so that you know how the 2 halves come together. If you don't, you might have a hard time getting all these holes lined back up. So you'll notice none of my holes are perfect. Some of them are a little bit egg-shaped, and that's okay. All we're going to do once we get these apart is replace that bearing, and then we're going to put a bunch of 1/4 inch bolts, some short 1/4 inch bolts in there to hold these 2 halves together. So, alright, give me just a second. Well, let's try and take this apart, and I realize that this pulley has got a bunch of spot welds holding it together. Not that big a deal. We just got some more things to drill out. So I'm going to center punch those and hit them with the drill. Okay, got my 8 holes drilled on those spot welds. It's just a matter now of going through with a screwdriver or chisel and prying those 2 halves apart. So, wish me luck. Well, just took a couple more pops with the hammer, just a couple burrs holding it all together, and separate your 2 halves, and you just want to pop that bearing out. Shouldn't take much to get it out. I'm trying to do this while watching the screen. I'm going to pop that bearing out real quick. Hold on. Okay, just like that. Pop that bearing out of the 2 different halves, and I just need to go see if I can find a 204 RR6 bearing to put back in it. Stick with me. We're back here with everything we need to complete this job. I've got my brand new bearings here. Got these from eBay. I got a whole pack of 6 of these. for about 25 bucks, which is cheaper than one replacement idler pulley from John Deere or somewhere. I've got 6 different 1/4 inch by 1/2 inch long bolts, and I've got 6 different lock nuts to put this all back together. So we're gonna go ahead and take our bearing here and sandwich it between our 2 pulley sheaves here, or 2 pulley halves. I'm going to line up my black mark just to help me line things up a little better. And right there, everything is ready to go back into place. You see that all the holes are perfectly lining up, and all you gotta do is drop your bolts through the holes, put your lock nuts on them, and you'll be good to go. We're gonna do that real quick. Be right back. And there we have it, one finished idler pulley, 6 new bolts put in, and if this bearing ever goes bad again, all we got to do is pop these 2 pulley halves apart and pop in a new $3 bearing. So there's nothing to it. I'm getting ready to put this back on the tractor right now. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you got any questions.